You ready, Galen?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Gary.
We had high hopes of making some type of announcement this morning. We simply do not. Plain and simple. We're still in negotiations.
That's it.
Well, if it's because you're driving a hard bargain, just keep at it.
I guess that kind of goes, can we ask some questions?
Yeah, a few, I guess. Yeah.
I just,
Not sure we can answer them, but
Right,
you can
right.
answer them.
Well, I
Most of
guess-
them we won't be able to, but
I guess one of the things that, I mean, because this is gonna affect everybody in Nemaha County one way or the other. Do we have even any ideas of what we're trying to gain? I mean, what we're looking for? I guess that's, you know, kind of my question is, do we know what we're fighting for in these negotiations?
Are you talking specific terms, or?
I mean, do we know what we're fighting for setback? Do we know what we're fighting for, is a setback from property lines? Is it from existing homes? Is it where somebody wants to build a home? I've got a son wanting to move back from New Hampshire. Do I tell him to stay there or plan on coming? You know, it's gonna depend on what, you know, what
We
takes
can't get into
place.
specific terms, obviously, because they're all still part of the negotiations, but it's an all-encompassing sort of agreement that we're looking for. But as far as the actual terms, that's what we're working on right now, and that's still under negotiation. So Ben's gonna have to probably wait a while.
Hey, what's that?
Ben's gonna have to wait a while to decide whether he wants to move back. I understand it's called Concord, not Concord. I learned that. So,
We thought we'd make forward progress, but we got thrown back a step, so hopefully, I'll tell you what, I work close. I mean, it's just a matter of,
we had really hoped that we would have a term sheet to present to everybody today that we could publish this week in the newspapers and hand out to everybody, but we're just not there.
we're all as anxious as everybody else in this room. We can tell you that.
I guess the concern is a week of nice weather, and then very few people aren't gonna be able to show up. I mean, that's another thing we're.
And really, once we, I mean, the term sheet is handed out, like I said, that'll be published, so everybody will have access to it. And then we will have at least one, perhaps two, public hearings where people can comment on that term sheet or any issue they want to comment on. But I think it's more important that we get it right as opposed to we get it fast.
Sure, sure.
but the term sheets will be available to all of you.
Yeah, so if you're not here.
There's nothing we're gonna try and hide. I mean, it's gonna be a nice deal. We'll have our meeting probably at the community building or wherever. And
After the term sheets are out for
after they're out for a
discussion.
week, and then we'll have and they'll be published in the paper
Twice.
on both papers, and we'll go from there, and then, you know, we'll have our discussion out there and see where it goes from there. That's,
Okay, so are these guys allowed to proceed while this is being done, or?
No. You're talking the project itself?
Right, yeah. Okay.
Couple more questions or comments?
Do negotiations continue through the week, or will next Monday be the first chance we'll have to hear?
For sure, negotiations will continue.
We'll continue as to when we would actually reach an agreement as to the term sheet, not an agreement as to the project moving forward, but to the term sheet. I don't know.
But when you say negotiations, that's just between Mr. Neal, maybe you, and NextEra,
It's really between Mr. Neal and NextEra's
Right.
attorney right now.
and not involving these guys.
Correct. Correct.
That would be next Monday, the earliest that you would get in.
I mean, anything is possible. It could happen sometime during the week. And when the opportunities arise to discuss it, then there may be.
But if they do call something, we would notify the media.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, if we can get to terms, you know, then I would say the public announcement would be next Monday, but,
Especially if it happens later in the week, we probably wouldn't do
and
anything
you'll know,
prior to Monday.
if we if they call a special meeting for us, you know, we will.
And just so you're aware, once the term sheet is available, we're not gonna open it up for discussion with everybody. All that will be saved for the public comment sessions that'll happen in the community building.
Those dates yet to be determined, of course, pending that, and published twice in papers.
So there will be nothing disclosed, let's just say you had it now. There would be nothing disclosed at this meeting, it would wait for the
You know,
public
we
meeting.
would disclose the term sheet, but as far as any discussion, there would be no discussion.
As far as disclosed, probably just hand them a copy.
Exactly, yes.
Public information.
If any of you have any input on the meeting that we're gonna have, you know, out at community building, of how it should be handled, I'd welcome any input you might have. Right now, I'm thinking, you know, limiting people to 5 minutes at most, because of the time limit. I don't know if you've got issues with that or whenever. You know, we need to be thinking about some things like that, so that we don't have to waste another 2 weeks once we get this term sheet out to get it. But
Our goal is to make sure that everybody would have a chance to comment on it, which is why we would limit the time. Not that we don't want to hear, but if somebody gets up there and talks for 2 hours, that just limits the amount of time available for everybody else. So we want to make sure everybody has an opportunity.
And now, if you want to talk, like Bill, if you come up and say you want to talk, we'll have a list. We'll let you talk for your 5 minutes. You don't have to talk for 5 minutes. You can talk for 30 seconds and that's done.
They say even 2
But-
minutes may be enough.
But 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but up to 5 minutes. And then after that, if you got more to say, you can go back and sign up on a next sheet. That when everybody else is done, you can come back up and proceed more. I mean, we're not gonna try and limit, but we're gonna try and limit the meeting to what, Gary, maybe 4 hours?
Thinking an afternoon, and then possibly the following day, an evening meeting. Try
You know,
to
you hear
accommodate as much
meetings
as
where
possible.
they run 8, 10, 12 hours, and I don't think any of us need to subject
No.
ourselves to that.
I've said that before, we will not be at an open public meeting at 1:30 in the morning. Because I'm asleep by then. Anything else? Quick. Hearing none, when discussion will cease for the balance of the day. All right. Thanks, Brad.